may not think there's something wrong with this, but there actually is. Okay, all those things, of course, had something wrong with them, and this one actually has a whole bunch of things wrong with it.
Each thing is there.
Okay, now, some of you were here for the last thing, so you can't say what they are, but I will give you a hint about some of the things that are wrong. Well, it could be. Yes, Amanda?
They're all too old.
Yeah, that's great. Here's a couple things. This is, of course, if you don't know what this is a picture of the Last Supper when Jesus is having dinner with the disciples the night before he's crucified. That's how the story goes. Now, first of all, notice I said night. What do you notice about this picture? Alright, now, this is the Last Supper, and the story actually goes that Jesus gave a couple disciples his job. He said, go and get supper ready. Get everything ready. Look at how much food is on that table. The plates are empty. They have like a couple potatoes and a bun, and it's like, this is the worst supper ever. Those disciples should be fired. Because if that's the dinner, that's my Last Supper, and that's what you guys get me, like cook some turkey or, you know, make some big deal, but this is horrendous deal. So these guys, well, that's not all they did wrong. Now, some people think because you guys are young people that you can't actually do some things. And I don't think that is true at all. And so tonight, what I'm going to do, now that I'm serious about this, we are going to take a new picture. That picture, first of all, is wrong in some other ways that I'm not going to go into. Now, when I was at your school today, and I got to talk about what some young people in Cape Breton are doing and have done over the last couple of years. And so, there's some young people, I showed this picture of this young girl named Melanie, who is from Sydney, went to Sydney Academy, and helped raise $10,000 to help build a school for a bunch of kids whose school got wrecked in the earthquake in Haiti a couple of years ago. So I showed the picture of the school, so some pictures of her, and it was just a young girl who decided, saw on TV, like some video of some schools that got knocked down, said, I'm going to raise money, and she got a bunch of schools together, and they raised $10,000 to rebuild something. And so it was really cool. We got to go see it this past year. Yes? 7,000. And that's awesome. And here, I told some people about this before, we have a young man in this room that I got invited this week, and if you're not part of it yet, you need to be, I want you to tell them what you started this week.
Well, the group is called Love is Louder, and what I'm basically doing is I'm trying to go against bullying, and I'm going to try to make my way into schools, youth centers, pretty much anywhere where there's kids, small youth. We're actually going to go door to door and make pamphlets. I just pretty much want to raise awareness about bullying and try to stop it. Like, bullying should be punished. Like, if you're bullying, you should be charged. Like, there's many ways you can go against bullying, and I just want you all to stand up against it. And the group is called Project Love is Louder, and you'll see on my Facebook, many of you have me on Facebook, I'm always hashtagging Love is Louder, and that's the main group. It's Love is Louder.
So if you're not in that group yet, when you get home, go on Facebook and stuff and look that up. But what's really cool is that there's young people who are doing something like that. Now, so you may think, I don't know if I can do something like that. But this is the craziest story about this picture. And this is what I think is one of the coolest things about why we do Monday nights. Because this picture is so wrong, because of course everyone in that picture is 40 to 70 years old. Okay? And so we think that that's when people get as old as that, like so I'm 42. That's old, right? And so you think when someone's that old, then they can do something. And that's not true. Yes? What's that? Make the world. Oh, I'm going to talk about that. Okay, now listen. Listen up just for maybe 2 more minutes. What's really cool about this story is when Jesus walked around, he actually went on a couple days and he walked up to some people and he said this, come follow me. And we think, because like just like all those other pictures were wrong, this one's got something seriously wrong with it, because we think he must have got old people to do stuff. And when it comes to even faith in church, we think old people, because when we go to church, sometimes it's full of old people. What's really wacky is the disciples, when Jesus said, come follow me, and when I think about Glace Bay, there's some things that need to change in our town. I am so tired of, I've been working here for about 7 years now. I moved here 7 years ago. I know young people, when I moved here, that would like hang out with my kids, be at my house, hanging out at the skate park, that are so strung out on drugs right now, that their lives have just taken like, it's horrendous what's happened to them. And like, I want to see young people actually do something about that. And so what's crazy about this story, when this guy, Jesus, decided he wanted to see a huge change, he actually did not choose old people to do it. The disciples were all between the ages of 14 and 21. That's why this picture is so wrong, because we think, well, when I'm old, I can do something. But I'd like to say this, you know what? Like, Adam, how old are you? 22? At 22, Adam's doing this. And you know what? At 14 or 15, some people can actually stand up to bullying and stand up to the people and the drug users and the drug pushers, really, of this town, and actually make a change in our community. You don't have to wait till you're old. And what's really cool is the best example of that is what Jesus actually did. Not this picture, because that's wrong. But he actually thought if there's going to be a huge change, it had to start with the young people. And that's why I'm doing this tonight. Because if something's actually going to change in our town, sometimes people are looking for someone like myself to do something, where I'd say, you know what, no, it's up to you. And we actually want to let you guys do that and empower you. So when we hear about what young people are doing, we want to encourage you to do even more. So if you raise $7,000 for something, that's awesome. You're starting a website and a group to do something, that's awesome. And I'd say that's what we're about, is you know what, you can actually do something. And what's so cool is that Jesus actually thought young people would be the ones who would actually do something. So I think it's kind of a cool story, that even the beginning of Christianity was with young people, not with old people. So that's us. Well, it's you, because I'm kind of old now, okay? Anyways, we do have a couple things we're giving out tonight. We're kind of